Granite, of course, is special because of its fine grain. And for any statuary work or any hand carved work or anything that's, hand cut lettering, it's superb. It shows the workmanship of the hand work into it.
Good.
I'm gonna have to lift the one end of this stick to stick. I'll take it this way, Dick. Beauty.
You know.
Using a stencil cutting machine. It's something that's been in the industry now approximately 7 or 8 years. It speeds up the operation. Instead of cutting all the letters with a stencil knife, it's pressed onto the rubber now. And I would say it's probably twice as fast. And again, this has come into the industry to bring the cost down. In our business here, we have to go into it because of competition. When you go into the machine cut letter like this, all the lettering looks mechanical. And of course, people are buying price, but if you looked at the letter cutting machine lettering and the lettering that's done at the John Stevens shop, you could really appreciate their workmanship. What has happened is that the man on the layout man in the sandblast room has blown the background down, but it's pretty difficult to shape cultivated rows in the sandblast room. So what we do is we sandblast around it, then I shape up the rows, and then he brings it back into the sandblast room and puts a few finishing touches. But we find that it looks much better when you hand cut the cultivated rows. Like John Stevens' shop, using the hammer hitting the chisel. This is hitting the chisel the same way, only under 120 pounds of air. It has an advantage of speed, but again, your hands get all calloused up and circulation is stopped. The nerves in my fingers have been crimped and damaged, so they're not telling my brain that my fingers are cold, that the blood should circulate to my fingers faster to keep them warm. And he said that he don't think they'll ever cure.
In the west of Ireland. Okay, down to the brush. There we are. There you are, Tootsie. I got you now. You're gonna do it for me. I don't know how many times I've drawn the alphabet with a brush. I've done it over and over again. And for some strange reason, I never, ever get tired of doing these simple little strokes and making these old, to me, very meaningful marks. This particular kind of drawing, ink and brush on a handmade paper, is just a very pleasant, sensuous thing to do. The quality of the line is so exciting, and the feel of the brush on the paper. It may or may not have much to do with the final form of the thing, which is really given to it by the chisel, the final form of the detail. We tend here to do a lot more drawing than the traditionalists. The Romans would draw a thing once with a brush on the stone, and they'd cut it. That was it. The English seldom draw with a brush at all. They'll draw with a pencil right on the stone and cut it. The difficulty with an alphabet stone is avoiding pomposity, because in doing it, it's an act of arrogance. You know, you're saying, look here, I'm doing this alphabet, and this is the most beautiful alphabet that I can draw and carve. So you have to be careful not to be too self-conscious about it, and not to be too overbearing about it. You have to let the letters contribute their own characters to the thing. Then once this is done, it gets traced down onto the stone with a white sort of carbon paper, and the letters are traced with a steel scribe, which leaves a white outline, and it's from that that you paint.